2 weeks ago, you said yes. You were excited, actually excited. Now it's 3 p.m., the event is at 7, and all you can think about is how to get out of it. Your stomach is tight. Your mind is racing. You're already drafting the "I'm so sorry, but" text in your head. Sound familiar? You're not alone. A 2023 study found that nearly 60% of Americans admit to canceling social plans at least once a month. And here's what nobody talks about. The people who cancel aren't flaky. They're not selfish. Something else is happening beneath the surface. If you've ever made plans you were genuinely excited about, only to dread them when the day arrives, this video explains exactly what's happening in your brain. Let's dive in. Here's the first thing you need to understand. When you made those plans 2 weeks ago, you weren't making them for yourself. You were making them for future you. And future you is basically a stranger. Neuroscience reveals something fascinating about how our brains work. When you think about your future self, even just a week or two from now, your brain treats that person differently than it treats you right now. Brain imaging studies show that when people think about their future selves, the same brain regions light up as when they think about other people. Not themselves, other people. This is called temporal discounting, and it explains why present you has to deal with all the decisions future you made. That person who said yes to 3 parties, a work happy hour, and brunch, that wasn't you. That was some optimistic version of you who didn't have to actually show up. Present you wakes up tired, present you had a hard week, present you realizes the party is across town in traffic, present you just wants to stay home. And suddenly, future you's enthusiasm feels like a betrayal. Your brain literally struggles to connect the person who made the plans with the person who has to follow through. They feel like different people, because to your brain, they kind of are. But there's more happening than just disconnection from your future self. For many people, canceling plans is about anxiety, specifically social anxiety. The afternoon of an event you RSVP'd yes 2 weeks ago, dread has been slowly building. As the minutes tick by and you need to start getting ready, the knot in your stomach twists tighter. Familiar thoughts creep up. What if I'm left standing alone looking awkward? What if I say something stupid? What if everyone can tell I'm nervous? Around 7% of Americans experience social anxiety disorder, but even more people experience situational social anxiety without meeting the full diagnostic criteria. And for all of them, making plans is easy. It's the showing up that's terrifying. Here's what happens in the anxious brain. The moment plans are made, overthinking begins. You expect you'll feel awkward. You convince yourself you're not even interested in going. You assume no one will like you, and the only impression you'll leave is negative. By the time the event arrives, you've spent weeks building it up in your mind as a catastrophe waiting to happen. The exhaustion that comes with all this overthinking isn't worth going out, so you cancel. And here's the cruel irony. Avoiding the event provides immediate relief. Your anxiety drops instantly. But what you don't realize is that you've just made your social anxiety worse. Because avoidance is one of the most common symptoms of anxiety, and it's also what maintains it. Every time you cancel, you teach your brain that social situations are dangerous and that avoiding them keeps you safe. The relief you feel when you cancel, that's reinforcing the avoidance. You're training yourself to cancel more in the future. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable, because not everyone who cancels plans is anxious. Some people are doing something called social zapping. A fascinating study examined people who habitually make last-minute cancellations, and they found something surprising. These individuals scored higher in what psychologists call the dark triad personality traits: Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. Social zapping is the continual pursuit of better social opportunities while neglecting long-term consequences. These aren't people who cancel because they're anxious. They cancel because something better came along. They're keeping multiple options open and making the final decision at the last possible moment based on what serves them best. The strongest predictor of social zapping behavior was Machiavellianism, a trait characterized by manipulative tendencies and endorsing immoral behavior to gain personal opportunities. Narcissism and impulsivity were also predictors. Interestingly, fear of missing out, FOMO, actually negatively predicted social zapping because FOMO includes a pro-social desire to stay involved, the opposite of the antisocial behavior of ditching people. Procrastination was also a predictor, suggesting that social zappers delay the decision to accept or decline plans until the very last minute, leaving others hanging. Now, before you panic, occasionally canceling plans doesn't make you a narcissist. Life happens. Emergencies occur. But if you find yourself habitually canceling when better opportunities arise, or keeping backup plans while seeing what else develops, that's different. That's using other people as placeholders. There's also a cultural component we can't ignore. Since 2020, canceling plans has become normalized in a way it never was before. During lockdowns, we got used to smaller social circles. Many of us spent months primarily interacting with screens. Now large gatherings can feel overwhelming. A 2024 study found that 41% of adults report higher levels of social anxiety post-pandemic compared to before. We've also embraced self-care culture, which is great, except sometimes we use it as an excuse to dodge any social discomfort. The phrase, "I need to prioritize my mental health," has become a get-out-of-plans-free card. And look, sometimes that's legitimate, but sometimes it's avoidance dressed up in therapeutic language. Digital interactions have replaced a lot of in-person socializing, making it easier to back out without guilt. You can send a text. You don't have to see the disappointment on someone's face. The social cost of canceling has decreased, while the ease of canceling has increased. The result? 50% of people report that their work meetings get canceled the day of. Friends describe plans as always looser these days. The respect for other people's time seems to be at an all-time low. Here's what people don't talk about: the consequences of chronic canceling. First, there's the impact on relationships. When you repeatedly cancel, people stop inviting you. They stop trusting you. They make plans without you because they'll probably just cancel anyway. Eventually, the invites stop coming, and then you feel isolated and left out, which only increases your anxiety and makes the cycle worse. There's also the emotional toll on you. Each time you cancel, guilt and shame pile up. You feel like a bad friend. You hate that you're that person. But the anxiety of going feels worse than the shame of canceling, so you keep doing it. This creates what psychologists call psychological residue, an invisible burden that compounds over time. And here's the devastating research finding. People with social anxiety actually feel better when they're with other people. Studies tracked people with social anxiety throughout their days and found they reported feeling happier when with others than when alone. The very thing you're avoiding, social interaction, is actually what would help your mood. But you never discover this because you keep canceling before you find out. So how do you stop? Here's what actually works. Ask yourself 3 questions before saying yes. First, can I realistically do this given my energy levels and schedule? Second, will I genuinely enjoy this, or am I saying yes out of obligation? Third, am I excited about this plan, or excited about the idea of being the kind of person who does this plan? If future you made the plan, but present, you has to show up. Be honest about who you actually are, not who you wish you were. Identify what you're really avoiding. Is it social anxiety? Are you exhausted and burnt out? Are you waiting for something better? Be honest. You can't address a problem you won't name. Use the 10-10-10 rule for anxiety. If you're anxious, ask, how will I feel about this decision in 10 minutes, 10 months, 10 years? Often the temporary relief of canceling creates long-term regret. Make a role for yourself. Social anxiety would like to convince you the event won't end well. Take some power back. Offer to bring something. Volunteer to help set up. Having a role relieves the pressure and gives you something to do. Show up for 30 minutes. If you're dreading it, commit to showing up for just 30 minutes. Often starting is the hardest part. Once you're there, momentum builds, and staying feels easier than leaving. Be honest when you cancel. If you need to cancel, don't make excuses. I'm not feeling up to it is fine. Honesty builds trust. Lies erode it. Get professional help if this is ruining your life. If social anxiety is significantly interfering with your ability to make and keep friends, see a therapist. Cognitive behavioral therapy for social anxiety is the gold standard treatment and actually works. So here's what we've learned. People who cancel plans last minute aren't all the same. Some are experiencing the future self disconnect, where the person who made plans feels like a different person than the one who has to show up. Some are battling social anxiety, where avoiding provides immediate relief but makes the problem worse long term. Some are social zapping, keeping options open and ditching people when something better comes along. And many are caught in pandemic-era patterns where canceling has become so normalized, we've forgotten it affects real people. 60% of Americans cancel plans at least once a month. You're not alone in this, but understanding why you cancel is the first step to deciding if you want to change. Because here's the truth. Chronic canceling damages relationships, increases your anxiety, and keeps you from discovering that social situations aren't as bad as your brain tells you they'll be. Your friends are tired of being disappointed. You're tired of feeling guilty. Something has to change. So I'm curious, are you a chronic canceler? And if so, which type are you? The anxious avoider? The future self-optimist? The social zapper? Let me know in the comments. No judgment here, just understanding. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more psychology content about the messy reality of being human. Thanks for watching. And hey, if you made plans for tonight, maybe actually go. You might be surprised by how you feel.